Welcome to TradeHappy, a community of traders learning how to be profitable and happy. Today we're going to be going over the markets like we did last week and reviewing the trades that we did. We're starting off on Euro AUD. This was a trade that we were looking at last week, and we marked out this area here. And if we go into the 30-minute time frame, this was our entry here, and the market came down, consolidated and dropped again, and consolidated and dropped again. And since that point there, we've come back up and we've almost reached our entry again. And then we came all the way back down, and we're a few pips, possibly 1 or 2 pips away from our take profit. So obviously when you're trading this and you see it down here, move stop loss to entry and then reduce your risk. You could even move it down here just to secure in some profits. But the market has come back up and we're in a consolidation phase right now of this area. So we'll see what happens after this, see what happens next week. But I'm thinking that price is going to come back down and possibly take out these lows and then these lows here. So that's what's going on for next week on Euro AUD. Not much to do on that apart from just monitor the trade. Another one that we had a look at last week was GBP JPY. Still in this trade, as you can see here. This was our analysis. Came up, Fibonacci up there, back down, and we entered right on that candle there, and it has not hit the stop loss yet. A couple of pips away there, a couple of pips away here, but I'm thinking that this is probably going to be a losing trade unless we can drive higher at the start of next week, but we'll see what happens. Keeping the trade open, of course, no point in closing it because it's still a valid trade. I would have liked to have seen it move better at this level here and just gone up, but obviously you can't have perfect trades every single time, so we'll see what happens on that. The next one was GBP USD. Again, not really moved for us, but still in the trade, and we're back at around the entry point that we got in last time. We entered here on this big wick here, and price just came up and was looking positive after this big wick. But then since then we've had a price move down and we're basically at entry again. So waiting to see what happens next week. And the last one that we got into was USD JPY. This was our entry here. And it was looking positive when we got this move down. But since then, again, we've come back up. Come on. And we're basically at entry again. So I would probably be saying that this is going to be a losing trade as well, unless we can turn here and move to the downside and take out these lows. If we come down and then we make another high and break this high here, I would probably just exit the trade at a loss and move on and just have a small loss. So other than the pairs that we were looking at last week, there was a Euro CAD trade. If we just extend that out, I didn't mark this one just because it wasn't a perfect trade that I was having a look at, but entered here and we got tagged out probably 2 pips away, so that's pretty frustrating. Obviously I was saying that if you did enter this trade and your stop loss is up here, you've got quite a big, obviously the risk to reward is still great at 4.7, but it's quite a large range, and normally I like my stop loss to be 30 pips, or around 30 pips. 30 to 50 pips really is a maximum. So yeah, I was saying put the stop loss here at the next Fibonacci level, and we came up and just tagged perfectly on that 79%, and we've moved down ever since then. Probably would have put my stop loss at entry by this point, and I'm expecting it to hit the lows down here and probably take profits. So yeah, that's a good trade. Euro GBP. This is a possible sell, although it's probably a little too late now. Would have got in here. Entry, stop loss at the highs, and then ride it all the way down. Still think that that could be a Still think that that could be a profitable trade if you got into it. If you didn't, and we come down here, you could possibly look for a re-entry. But other than that, yeah, that looked like a good trade if you managed to catch that one. Euro JPY. If we just extend that out, you can see last week there was a trade that got tagged. Nice, take profit. But unfortunately, market didn't come up to our level. If we put the entry at the 71%, you could have entered it, depending on the spread that you would have got. And that would have been a really nice trade. But unfortunately, didn't actually enter that one because it was at the 79%. Euro NZD. There's not really much I'm looking at on here just because we're in a consolidation area. So if we can break out of here and start making a bit of a trend, then I would be looking at a trade on this. But at the moment there's nothing on here that I'm looking at. Euro USD. Now, there was a trade on here, but so this is the high that I was looking at right now. Previously it was this high or this high. You can pick either one. But obviously if you pick this one, you wouldn't have got in. If you pick this one, you definitely would have got in. And if you pick this one, well, yeah. So if you pick the most recent high, recent swing high, that's a perfect entry right there. You would have entered there, stop loss here, and again the take profit of the symmetrical move down. So that's looking like a positive trade at the moment if you were in this one. Yeah, really good entry on that. Can't really complain about anything on that trade for Euro USD. So if you did catch that trade, let me know, or post it in the Discord community. I'll link it below. But yeah, and if you're finding out if this is like the first time that you've seen this market analysis, you can go onto a previous video and look at how I've set up the Fibonacci and why different things are certain colours and why I'll enter at the 71 instead of the 62, for example. So yeah, you can go and have a look at that and learn a bit more about that. Let's have a look at GBP AUD. So this is an uptrend. But I think that we're probably topping out at the uptrend at the moment. So I'll wait for a decent move down. So if we mark that out, I'll be looking for a move down here somewhere. And if price can come down here in this area, then I'll be looking for a smaller time frame setup in this area here to then ride it higher. But other than that, nothing really on GBP AUD. GBP JPY just sitting tight for next week to see what happens. And GBP NZD, again, uptrend. Looking for a move lower and then I can get into another trade. GBP USD, holding tight, and USD CAD. This is a possible, let's have a look at the trend. So it's an uptrend, but we are in consolidation. Obviously we've had this move out here, we've had the big move here. So let's just draw a Fibonacci on here and see what lines up. So 71% is here, so could be looking at a trade in this area if price can come up here, and maybe you can get a smaller pattern in here, we can ride it down. But nothing too good on this. I'd probably be looking for a take profit around 1.41, around that area. due to the fact that we are in a consolidation phase, and I wouldn't be looking for anything to break these lows and just taking profits here. Obviously, that's not really the bread and butter Fibonacci trades that I'm used to. But we'll see what happens next week and see if there's any trades that line up. So I hope you've enjoyed the video today. If you did, hit the like button. Remember to subscribe for weekly videos, market analysis and market tips about trading and happiness. We have a Discord community where you can join in and join the community, post trading setups. And yeah, I hope you've enjoyed the video and I'll see you next week.